Oh my god, I miss Rio so much. Yeah, like in the week I make 25 an hour. Just like cut, go, get out of here. Our separate ways, and there's a different vibe in Australia. Like in Australia, came up to me and he was like, Brasileira, and I was like, no Vichala. Good morning everyone. It's 9:15. I got up for sunrise this morning. I actually went to bed so late last night. I was trying to go to bed early, but then my best friend Melissa called me. She like needed a therapy call, and because of the time zone, I stayed up for like an hour chatting to her just to make her feel better. The amount of times that woman has pulled me through some dark times in London, so it feels so good when I can like give back to my friends like that. So we only had 5 hours sleep, but we got up for sunrise, and for some reason I feel like so energized and so motivated and everything. I feel like when you start your morning with the sun, no matter how much sleep you've had, like it just feels like much more of a productive day. So we've got our gym fit on. I just took the hottest shower ever because I was freezing. It was the most beautiful sunrise. We went and got coffee, met with my Brazilian friend. We just chatted, and it was so nice to catch up with her because when I met her in the gym, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're Lynn's blog. I love your content. I follow you. And we just like, she just felt like such a good friend. And then like, she was really supporting me through the whole time when I lost my Instagram. She's like, it's okay. Just focus on one thing at the moment. You're going to get your account back. So it was really nice to just like be with her while like my head was in a better headspace. Anyway, we've had coffee. I am going to do a little get ready with me, guys, because we need to fix this situation. And I'm going to answer some questions for you guys. I've been off Instagram for a month, so there's a lot to catch you guys up on. I'm going to make breakfast, and then we're going to do a get ready with me and answer your guys' questions. So, welcome to the vlog. Lynn's vlog's back. So let's go. I'm gonna blow dry my hair, do my hair, put a face mask on, and then I'm gonna do my makeup. We're gonna do a face mask. Oh my gosh, I look ridiculous. These face masks are so good. My best friend went to Japan and she brought them to me in London, and then I've just ordered them ever since. They are so moist. I hate using that word, but they are so good. So we're just gonna put this on, then I'm gonna do the get ready with me and answer your guys' questions. I'm just gonna do a bit of editing. Oh my gosh, no better feeling than a day off and a face mask and a coffee. Muito café.
Thank you.
Good morning, guys. We are going to do a little get ready with me while I answer some questions that I put on my Instagram story. We have been back in Australia 1 month and I got my Instagram account back. But after losing it, it really just opened my eyes up to that platform is just rented ground, and that I really want to diversify my platforms. My TikTok's good, my Instagram's good. I really, really want to grow my YouTube. YouTube is my favorite platform. So we're showing up twice a week here, and I hit 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which means I'm 1/5 away from 100,000, and I am so determined to get that plaque now. So anyway, let's get straight into the get ready with me. I'm gonna do my hair and my makeup. First off, we're gonna use this Giorgio Armani liquid sheer. And it focuses. Oh, there we go. My makeup routine has actually become so simple. When I've been traveling, I usually don't have a lot of room, so I've had to like really cut down on the products. put that in. Also, it's winter in Australia and I hate winter and I refuse to buy winter clothes. So if you see me wearing the same stuff, it's because I have no winter wardrobe here and winter's so short here anyway that I just don't want to buy winter clothes. Okay, let's get to the questions. So I actually got a few. These are the questions. This is from GRWM_Fernandez. When you go back to Brazil, I actually know this guy because I met him on my first hike in Two Brothers. So the plan is to go back to Brazil in December and do a Brazilian summer because I loved it so much. We're gonna do Giorgio Armani. This is 6.5 and this is 3.5 and this is for like my blemishes. So yeah, honestly, I had the best summer ever in Brazil and I was just like, I want to relive that, redo that. I've already done like 4 Australian summers and they're good, but they're just not as exciting as a Brazilian summer. And I just feel like when you're in your 20s, you have to do a summer in Rio de Janeiro. I kind of did it. I like did it for New Year's, then I went and traveled like other parts of Brazil. Then I came back and lived in Rio for like 2 months and I absolutely loved it. So I was like, I just want to be there for like summer and live like a carioca. So that is the plan. We're planning to go back in December for summer and I'm super excited. Okay, next question. How much did you spend during your time in South America? How did you budget? This is from Lola Diva. So this is actually really funny because I originally was only meant to go to South America for 1 month. My brother was getting married in Chile and I had 10 days booked in Chile, 10 days booked in Colombia and 10 days booked in Brazil. And I was working remotely for my company in London because I left London so abruptly. I had done a really good job for them in their socials. They offered me to work remote for 3 months while they looked for someone that they could get in the UK. And I was like, absolutely. So I did have like income coming through that. So I went to South America originally for 1 month. And then when I went to Brazil, I was like, I'm obsessed with this place. And because I had the flexibility, I extended my trip and I was working online. I extended and I ended up staying for 5 months, which is crazy. I'm gonna do this foundation, Giorgio Armani, just a bit more coverage. And I also put the highlighter here and here, like that, like the lighter concealer. And I absolutely loved it, extended my trip. And then in February, like a week before Carnival started, the company was like, we don't want to extend the contract. And I was like, a bit kind of expecting it because I knew that they didn't want someone always remote. It is kind of like a job, you kind of need to be in London as well. So it was kind of like, okay, but by this time my influencing had done really well. So I was like, this is like my sign to go like full ham in my influencing. So then from that point on, I was influencing full time. Just gonna blend this out. So when I left London, I had quite a bit of not like, I think it's because the pound is so strong. So it's almost like double Australian money. I had money paid out for my holidays because I was building up holidays when I was in the corporate job. And then I had UGC content that I had done in London and I had brand deals kind of coming through as I was in Brazil because I had done stuff in London. And when you do influencing work, you invoice them. It's usually 30 or 60 days before the company actually pays you. So it can be like 2 months till you get a payment for like a brand video. I remember I left UK with like £4,000. But then also I remember I had some really good brand deals come through. I also bought 3 cameras when I was in South America because 3 cameras broke. I bought a DJI Osmo in Chile, which was like £600, a GoPro 13 in Colombia, which was like £1,100, and then an Osmo Action 6 cam, which was like another £1,100 in Colombia. And then that broke. I had an American follower on my Instagram. I asked him, could you please, like I put on my Instagram, please anyone who's coming to Brazil, like could you bring me some tech? And he bought me an Osmo Action 4 camera and a hard drive and that was like £200. So that was like £2,000 in itself. I would say I probably spent £10,000. It's hard because I didn't budget. I also had collaborations like with the hostel. I got free accommodation and I just remember certain things, what things cost, because I remember Carnival week accommodation was like £1,100. It was so expensive. But because I was making money as I was traveling, you kind of don't need to budget as much because you're working on the go. You're like, oh, okay, like, don't worry, I'm getting this brand deal next week, or I'm getting my payment next week of my salary. So yeah. Also, South America is cheaper than Europe. That helps. Like, you can go out and eat dinner and get like a full like chicken palmy. I used to get one in the favela for like £4. So yeah, it's like cheaper to travel. So yeah. I didn't really have a budget for South America. I was only meant to go for 1 month and went for 5. And I kind of left because I ran out of money, so. This is from Balham. Best part of living in London. Glad you got your Insta back. Thank you. It was so stressful getting my Insta back. Best part about living in London, I think, is the excitement. It feels like on a random weekday, there can be random pop-ups of brands, like a random DJ's doing like a random street party. There's just so many events and international events going on, like just random days of the week. It's not even like a special day. I think it's just so exciting living in London. And then the part that I love is that you feel so central in the world. You're 2 or 3 hours from the whole of Europe. You're 10 hours from America. You're like 12 hours from South America. You're like 3 hours from North Africa. I don't know, maybe 8 hours from Africa, and also like the Caribbean. So like for traveling, like living in London, I just felt so central, and I would always just be like on Google being like, where do I want to go next? Like it would just be, yeah, super exciting. And I felt like living in London, yeah, there was just little pockets of little suburbs. Like you have Notting Hill, Marylebone, Mayfair. You have like all these different suburbs and culture, and it was just super exciting and such like a bougie city. I felt like when I lived in London, I would go to events and it would feel like I'm dining with the king and the queen. Like it was like so royalty in London. It's like Sydney's here, and then it's like London is so bougie. Obviously it's 10 times more expensive, but like sometimes me and my friends would go to like hotels and just like buy one drink and take so much content, and we would look so bougie, but we'd only like gone and got one drink. And I just like miss like the hotels, like some of the hotels in there, like the aesthetic was so beautiful. So yeah, I miss the bouginess, let's put it that way. Coming to Byron soon, let's catch up from God D. I actually had not travelled much of Australia. It's super expensive to travel Australia, and every time I'm in Australia, I'm always like working super hard to leave Australia. But I did have a brand, Happy Travels, reach out to me, and they want me to do like content for them travelling Australia, which was so exciting when I got the email. But I got the email when I lost my Instagram, and I actually told them like, can we just put this collaboration on pause? I'm going through it at the moment. So yeah, they actually emailed me last night, like following up on it. So maybe there'll be some Australia travel content coming. Colombia again. This is from Diego. I don't know how to say these usernames. I actually loved Colombia like so much. Hello. Hola. My flatmate's home, I didn't know. I'm gonna do this bronzer, this Charlotte Tilbury. Yeah, I loved Colombia. It was so fun. I would love to go back. San Andreas, if you go to Colombia, oh my gosh, I went to San Andreas and I extended it because it was so fun. Just gonna do this bronzer, contour. So yeah, I definitely want to go back to Colombia. Like people tell me like, did you go to Bogota? But I feel like Bogota is kind of dangerous and there's nothing much there. It's just like nightlife and shops. Vê tem que coloque elinge in Portuguese. I don't know what that says, but yeah. Any plans to go back to Brazil? It's from Jeff Ruder. I answered that, so December. And this is from Cassidia Taylor. Give us the Josiel, lure and tea and backstory. I think this was like the most asked question. Obviously I have been single like 7 years, so it's probably the first time a man's really been in my vlogs or on my socials. I made a video yesterday because I was speaking to him and I was like, oh, I want to remember the time when I like first saw you, and I was like, I know I was vlogging because I'm Lynn's blog, I vlog everything. And I was like, I know I was vlogging when I first saw you, so I made this video, and it's actually done so well on Instagram. It's only like been my 7th post back, and people love the dating drama or the tea, but this is it. 150,000 views.
This is absolute king over me. I can't
I was in the depths of my first Brazilian heartbreak. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. And then, I met him at the gym, and then I was like, I'm not going up to him. I need a man to come up to me because I need to know that he's like confident enough to come up to me. And it's actually a funny story because I was training at the gym, and then like a lot of guys were coming up to me because they'd recognized me from Instagram. They're, oh my God, I love your videos, blah, blah, blah. And obviously like when I meet people out and they recognize me, I want to give everyone like the time of day. I really appreciate my community and everyone watching my videos. Like there was a long time in my life I did this, and you know, no one ever watched it. So I was like speaking to like these 2 guys, but like in my peripheral vision, I was like looking for him. And I was like, oh my God, he's gonna think like this girl, like there's so many guys coming up to her like, oh, she's taken or she's got a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. So then when those guys finished talking to me, I was like looking for him, but he was gone. And I was like, oh, I just hope that he saw that I had a mic on and that like I'm an influencer, and that's why all these guys were coming up to me, you know? And then like 2 days later, it's kind of getting hot now. 2 days later, I was at the gym and I had kind of gone early. Like, because the thing is, I was like, I'm probably never going to see him again because who knows if he goes to the gym at that time, or like, you know, like it's the gym 24, like it's an outdoor gym in Brazil. It's like, who knows if he goes at that time or he's just visiting or he's not even from Rio de Janeiro. And then I think it was like 2 days later, and I was just at the gym, and I remember I was doing like RDL squats, and then I like looked up and he was there, and then he like smiled straight away at me, and I like waved and got so nervous. And then he came up to me and he was like, Brasileira? And I was like, no, Nova Zelanda. And then, one sec. And then got his Instagram, and then I actually got really bad food poisoning from McDonald's, and we were meant to go out that weekend, and so I told him, oh, sorry, like I can't go out. I was so sick, guys, like it was horrible. And I was just thinking, we were speaking the other day, I was like, imagine I hadn't extended my flight 8 times, I would have never met you. And because I'm pretty sure when I had that food poisoning, I extended my trip again because I was like, I don't want my last weekend in Rio to be like in an Airbnb throwing up my Maccas. So then we met again, and then like the first time we met, we went for a run, and then we went out in Lapa, and then like every day after that for the next 2 weeks, we spent every day together, and it was amazing. And then he took me to the airport, and then we said, okay, like I'm gonna come back to Brazil in December. I loved it. If we're like to get like single, then we'll be together. But then when I left, I'm gonna use this blush. I actually got the wrong one. This is Peachgasm, and I think I need a Pinkgasm, so I'm not loving this blush. But Charlotte Tilbury. So then when I got back to Australia, we were just like chatting every day. Like there was no pressure, but we were just like missing each other a lot and FaceTiming. And then now it's almost been like 2 months. So now I think it's like, we're like, okay, I'm coming back in December, and we're gonna see how this goes. So it's super exciting. And yeah, I don't know, I'm a little bit giddy when I speak about him, so that says a lot. Also, there's like a lot of people, I guess, now that I have a following, and I've never had a following when I've dated someone. Obviously, like there's a lot of people been trying to take us down, and I think that's made us stronger because it's like we have to really trust each other, because obviously people online, they're going to say a million things. We have to know that like what each other is saying is the truth, and I feel like that has brought us closer together, because it's like, wow, we annoy a lot of people when we're together and they want to start drama and rumors. So yeah, that's the backstory on that. I actually love that video. I watched it like 20 times at the gym yesterday. I was like, I'm so motivated for Brazil. Like, Okay, next slide. What do you miss the most about Brazil? This is from William Wellman. I would just say like the energy and the vibes. I just feel like when you're there, it's just like time doesn't exist, work doesn't exist, reality doesn't exist. I feel like you're just on this happy island and you're just like, whoa, Cartagena's and like beach and like party, and like it's such beautiful landscapes there. Like I was just getting up, going for runs. Like I wouldn't even be doing a lot in the day. Just going to the beach is so fun. I think it's like such a big tourist beach. There's so many international people coming that visit Rio de Janeiro. So like when you go to the beach, you meet so many different people and it's just so fun sitting at the beach. I miss ordering the cheese on the stick with the oregano and honey and like the meat sticks on the beach, and then just being at the beach all day and then just like chatting. And like there's a different vibe in Australia. Like in Australia, when you go to the beach, you kind of take your packed lunch and then you just sit at the beach. Coogee, like the next beach over, is a bit more social, but Maroubra here, like in summer, you kind of like go to the beach with your friends. I think that's what's the difference. It's like here in Australia, it's a smaller population. You go to the beach with your friends. In Rio, you can go to the beach with nobody and meet 100 people. So yeah, I just miss the vibe of Brazil and Josiel. Travel bucket list goals. This is from Baby. I actually did this in my last video, but I said South Africa. I would love to go to South Africa, see a safari, and also Hawaii. I just went to this place in Brazil called Fernando de Noronha, and I literally was like, I imagine this is what Hawaii would be like. It was so beautiful. And I love acai bowls. I love surfing. I love swimming. I love like jungle vibes, like island vibes. So yeah, those are my two places I'd love to go. And also like somewhere in the like Caribbean. I haven't been to the Caribbean, and when I went to San Andreas, I think on the map I looked, it's like close to the Caribbean because it had like Caribbean water, and I was like, this place is unreal. This is Charlotte Tilbury highlighter. Oh wait, I need to brush up my brows. Oh my god, I'm getting a dead leg. I'm just using this Abucha Cardio to brush up my brows. I was so happy when my Instagram came back because they obviously sent me so many products and I finally could upload my brand video for them, which I did, which means money is coming in the bank for my social media. Okay, let those dry, and then I'm just gonna put this highlighter on like this. Next question. After all experience, you can say Brazilians are the most passionate lovers. Where is that one gone? In the world. Yes. I feel like when like Brazilians will like, you'll know them like a week and you feel like you've been dating for 2 years. I feel like in another life I was meant to be Brazilian because I'm so energetic, enthusiastic, very like exuberant. Like I'm very out there, and that's what like Brazilians are like. I'm very open. I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't hide my feelings. Like I think this is one thing with me is like, you know, when I'm sad I'll be bawling my eyes out, but then when I'm happy I'm like so happy. You know, when you see people and they have reactions to things and they're just so like chill about the reaction, I'm like way over the top with everything. But then the thing is, the good thing with me is you like know what mood I'm in because I'm so exaggerated. And yeah, I feel like when you're with Brazilians, they just match my energy and they're so passionate and loving and everything. So yeah, I think like definitely like I've dated English guys, Irish guys, Australian guys. Like Brazilians are like here, and like Irish, English are all like chilled. So yeah, Brazilians definitely very passionate. Why did you and your female dancer friend from Brazil unfollow each other? It's from Nev. So I actually saw like a lot of people commenting on this when like I was still in Rio. I'm gonna use this Anastasia Beverly Hills to like tint my brows. So I met Mel in London and we weren't like the closest of friends. We were kind of had met for a couple of coffees a couple of times. London's super busy, but also we kind of lived different lives. She worked in nightlife, I worked in corporate. And then when I was in Brazil, she's half Brazilian, she was like messaging, being like, hey babe, like I want to come to Brazil. And I was like, oh my gosh, come. She didn't come for carnival, but then she came later, and I was like, okay, like let's get an Airbnb together, because I was sick of being in the hostels. Like I wanted to have my electronics safe. I wanted to have good Wi-Fi to upload my content to the drive. So we like got an Airbnb together, but mind you, we're not really that close of friends, so we don't really know each other. And yeah, like we were like going to the beach, doing stuff. Guys, my dad is home, and I told him, you need to sit there and be so quiet while I do my get ready with me, or you're cleaning the house. He's like, with his book. Okay, he's back sitting there. Now I don't know what I was doing. I'm just gonna do this Anastasia, like, and highlight my brows, like here. So I was getting a lot of, I got free dinners, I was getting like free stuff on the beach, like free jewelry, I got us free bikinis, and when we were together, I was getting her all that stuff through my Instagram, and I just felt like it wasn't really appreciated from her. I felt like she just expected it. All I wanted was like oh my gosh, thank you so much, Linz, this is amazing. But I never really got that. So I was already like kind of vibes. It was a bit like, you know, if this had been like Isabella, like my best friend, she was always so appreciative whenever we did PR stuff in London and I invited her, and I was just kind of missing that appreciation. And then she didn't like the Airbnb and was complaining about it. I was getting low on money, so I was like, I'm gonna go to the hostel and do my collaboration with this hostel because I'm towards the end of my trip. So we go our separate ways, and I kind of just wasn't really vibing to like hang out with her again. So I just started going to the beach, doing my content and doing stuff on my own. And then I don't watch anyone's Instagram stories. I'm a creator, so I'm always putting my own content out. And my 2 Canadian friends sent me her story, and she was at the gym with one of the ex-Brazilian guys I was seeing. And I think that in itself was enough for me to be like, okay, no, done. I think younger Linz would be like, oh, she's just like at the gym with him, or she, you know, she probably didn't mean it. And like now I feel like the older I've got, I'm like, we're all adults, we all know what we're doing. I know my best friends, if any of my ex guys I was speaking to message them, they would tell me. They'd be like, wouldn't even message the guy, they'd be like, why is your ex guy messaging me? Or you know what I mean? And I feel like the fact that she went to the gym or was at the gym with him and took photos with him, that was enough for me to be like, okay, this is not a girl's girl or whatever. And I was just like blocked on everything. I don't need an explanation. You know what you're doing, you're an adult. So that was just the tea and the drama. There wasn't really anything. It was just, I saw what she did, and I was just like, no second chances, like we're all adults, like, so I just blocked her on everything and moved on. Like I just want a small circle in my life with everything that was happening with the hate and the trolls and the cheating rumors, like everything with my influencing. I want my people in my circle to have my back 110%, and I don't need a lot of people, and those people in my circle are that, and they would take a bullet for me. So it was pretty much just like cut, go, get out of here. So that was the drama, not like huge drama. Well, I guess kind of. I think I was like not that upset because I had Josielle, and I was like, if she comes near Josielle, oh, are we fist throwing? I was like, she can have it, but like if she dare come near Josielle. So yeah, that was the drama on that. I've almost finished my makeup. My makeup routine is so simple these days because I had to learn to make my makeup routine so simple when I didn't have a lot of, like when I would take my little trips around Europe, most of the time I would only have a backpack, so I'd have to fit like all my camera gear and all my makeup and skincare and clothes and shoes into a backpack. Oh, this is some more hate. Someone said, why do you think you're an influencer? You're a literal loser with no education or skills. So this is the thing, like when I used to get hate on my socials, people would be like, does it not affect you? Honestly, it never did. The only time it affected me was when my Instagram account went, and it was like lost brand deals and kind of lost everything I'd worked for. The daily comments, I'm just, you know, I'm too busy creating. I read it, it goes over the head. I think the more you get, the more you learn to not care. I care about what people think about me that know me, and half the people on here, they don't know me. So, you know, and a lot of people say this, the more famous you get, the more hate you get. So this is true. Like the more famous I've got, the more hate I've got. And they say, if you're not getting hate, you're not doing something right. Like I'm very standing up for something. I'm showing my life, you know, people are hating on that because they're not being bold with their life. How much you earn in Australia? I know they pay very good. This is from Vania May. Well, I don't know how to say it. So I actually started putting footage of me up in the cafe because I was like, you know what? This is part of my journey. Lost my Instagram account and I had to go back work in a cafe. Like that sucked. And I was like, this sucks. But I was like, this will be like stuff that my audience can relate with. You know, it's not a steady journey to becoming a full-time influencer. And I actually had a girl like in my Instagram DM request be like, oh, living the dream, ha ha ha, back to a minimum wage job. And I like screenshotted it, put it on my story, and so many people were like, this person is so sad to like write that. But the thing is, in Australia, like working in a cafe is actually like not that bad. You actually get paid quite decent. So I was like, who's the one laughing now? Like, you know, like, okay, I'm working in a cafe, it's not like ideal, but also you actually get paid like quite decent. And in the weekends, you get paid more because it's a weekend. I don't know, when I last lived in Australia, I think I didn't have that because I worked at a cafe when I last lived here and a corporate job. I always am working like 2 or 3 jobs. That's how I travel so much. And so, yeah, like in the week, I make 25 an hour, which is actually on the low end for a cafe. And then on the weekend, it's 30, and Sunday is $37 to make coffees. So, yeah, I think I've said this in many videos, Australia is the best quality of life in everywhere in the world, and it's a big reason why I did move back. So yeah, the pay is really good. I also have been looking at social media roles because I obviously want to go back and maybe go back to corporate just so I can have better money coming in and better routine while I sort my full-time influencing. And like the salaries are like 80 to 100,000, and I know if I worked in fintech, it would be more than that because finance pays better. So that's like massive salaries, and it's cheaper life here in Australia than it is in London. So yeah, it's a big reason I did come back to Australia is I can actually build something for the future here. In London, I can't. And I was just having a breakdown to my dad like 20 minutes ago being like, I miss London. And I feel like I have to keep reminding myself the pros and cons list I did make before I left London. I have to keep telling myself that, and it's so hard because when things weren't going right here, I lost my Instagram account, everything. It was so easy for me to be like, oh, I just want to be back in London. Like I had friends there, I had a job there, everything was sorted. But I just know that like there's a bigger picture, and that in a couple of years, Dad's like, yes. In a couple of years, it's all gonna make sense why I came back to Australia when I did. So yeah, positive thinking. Oh my God, my legs are almost... Brazil plays today at the FIFA World Cup. Are you excited? It's a huge thing in Brazil, from Tico, Finland. So I actually called Josiel, and he was in Rosinya, and he showed me how many people were there watching the football. And I was like, oh my gosh, being at the Brazil in the World Cup would be amazing. But also they drew with the Moroccans, and I was like, oh, it's gonna hurt the Brazilians. And they were coming into the cafe with like their Brazil merch, and I wanted to like rub salt in the wound, but I was also like, maybe it's not a good idea. So I'm watching the World Cup. Also, New Zealand's in the World Cup. I didn't even know that. Go New Zealand. And also, there's Australia, and Australians in Vancouver have been like tearing the city alive. My 2 best friends live in Vancouver, and they're sending me videos, and I was like, oh my God, that looks amazing. How much have you earned through social media in your best month? This is from Learnings Wild. So I'm gonna just do mascara. I've almost finished my makeup. So my best month was definitely when I worked with this eSIM company. They're the biggest, I think, or one of the biggest. I was like on an airplane and they had an ad, and I was like, oh my God, I worked with that company. So I did 2 videos with them, and I made £1,750, which is so much. It's like almost was my salary in London. And I remember that payment coming through, and I was like, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, like this is what I want. And then obviously that month I probably made 300 Australian on my YouTube, and maybe like 50 USD on my TikTok. So that was like my best month. Not all my months are like that, trust me. Some months I'm like, but the potential to earn online is huge, and I think that's why I'm pursuing it so much, because to sit in my house and have money coming online like that is just like, the freedom and the flexibility is worth to me more than maybe a big salary job at a corporate job. So that's why we're really pushing the YouTube, because YouTube is a really good money maker and I love YouTube. I've always edited long form content. So yeah, that was social media. This is a mascara, this is a Boticario. I actually did a brand deal with them as well. And they're like I think they're the biggest cosmetic brand in Brazil. So another reason like for me to go back to Brazil at the end of the year is my social media does really good there. And I feel like if I go there and I've pushed my YouTube, I will push it to 100K if I go back to Brazil. But I've just got to like keep on top of my YouTube. And that's why I'm kind of pulling back from Instagram. I'm trying to convert my audience to come to my YouTube. It's all strategy. You have to be smart in this world. Okay, mascara's on. I think I've got a couple more questions. Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Oh, I need to do my lips. I feel like your makeup is not complete if you don't do your lips. It's like I'm naked. Let me get my lip stuff. Okay, I've got a couple more questions. Just wanted to say your videos in Brazil are so amazing and you inspired me a lot. Oh, thank you so much. I actually had so many girls message me saying, I've booked a solo trip to Rio de Janeiro. I loved your content. I binge watch your content. Like, I also have the girls in my blog Baddies WhatsApp group. If you guys aren't in that group, you're missing out because I'm really prioritizing that group. And one girl was even like, Linz, you inspired me to book a trip to Colombia if you have any tips. So it's like really amazing like when I get these messages, because you know, I was so scared to go to South America on my own solo, and I actually went, and I like am putting a pat on my back. I killed it when I was in South America. I documented the whole trip, grew my following, and had the best time of my life. I literally am downloading the photos off my iPhone right now to back onto my hard drive so I can clear my phones. And I'm looking back at some of the content being like, that 6 months didn't feel like real life. Like that was so much fun and is the best thing I ever did. Take that 6 months in South America, because it had been such a dream to travel South America. I watched so many documentaries of South America, and then now when I watch them, I'm like, I was there. More videos about Brazilian women, their culture and lifestyle. That's from Panic_V. Definitely will do that when I'm back in Brazil. Spiders and bugs in Australia. Should we be scared of traveling over? This is from Isabel GNT. And I'm just gonna do Charlotte Tilbury. Guys, I love Charlotte Tilbury, and I didn't realize it was a UK brand till I was in Brazil trying to get it, and I realized I couldn't get it. So spiders, bugs and snakes, I feel like when you live in Australia you get so used to it. Also, I think because we lived by the coast, we don't actually have as many like creepy crawlies. We did have a huntsman like in this house when I last lived here, and they're huge spiders, but they actually don't kill you. It sounds so bad. But like they look so big and ugly, but they don't actually like harm you. Let me show you. Yeah, like it's horrible looking, but it's not gonna hurt you. So we had one of those living in our apartment because it's like such an outdoorsy environment here. We always have windows, doors, everything open, like stuff can like come into the house. But I feel like if you don't see it, don't worry. There was also a shark attack like last week, and I've always been so, I was just checking my microphone was here because I took the jumper off. I've always gone into the ocean, like never cared really. I was just like, you know, it's like, but this one was in Coogee and it was so close to home because she was not even deep water swimming. I don't know what's happening in the waters in Australia, but there's been like 6 or 7 in the last year. And when I last lived in Australia, there was one in Malabar, which is very close to where I live, but that was like the first one in like 50, and now there's been like 6 in a year. So it's winter, so I'm not that pushed to go into the sea, but yeah, it's definitely scary. And also there was a bungee jump in Brazil where the girl had no cord attached and just went to her death, and a helicopter crash in Rio. And I just feel like all these things have been like really eye-opening for me to be like very grateful that I'm alive. And you also sometimes wonder like why wasn't it me? Like, you know, like how did I get so lucky? I know you can't think like that, but also at the same time you're like, man, like I went on those Rio helicopters 3 times. I didn't even think that was a possibility it could happen, because you don't. I don't know, you feel like you're on holiday, you're having fun. You're like, yes, content, da da da. And then that just happened like 3 months after I've left Rio, you know? Let me do a look. To answer that, yes, there are snakes and spiders, but I feel like I feel like a lot of people in England and Europe and everything, they look at Australia like, oh my God, like all these creepy crawlies, but like when you come here, you realize it's only really when you're in the outback. It's the same for like when I was traveling to Brazil. So many people were like, oh my gosh, like it's so unsafe, like you're gonna get robbed, you're gonna get held at gunpoint, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know, and I was so scared. I was like, that's gonna be the case. But I feel like a lot of people who say all this stuff are people who have never left their country. They haven't been to Brazil, so why are they telling you? You know what I mean? Because when I went there, I was so nervous, and then I absolutely loved it. Like, yes, Brazil is dangerous. There's no fact, like that's a fact. But so is London, you know? I think like the only safest place really is like Australia and New Zealand. So yeah, I think go to a place and make your own assumptions on things. And that's the same with here in Australia. So like the shark attacks, even like that, yes, there's been one, but they're probably, you know, that doesn't happen like often. So yeah. Okay, I think I only have a few more questions. Oh, there's more. This is gonna be so long. Oh my God. Let me do my lips. Ta-dum. So those are my lips, and then I'm just gonna do this Boccia Cardio lip gloss. I definitely lost my Brazilian tan now. I'm branco, not bronzero. Well, that's the makeup all done. Oh my gosh, let me just sit like this because my legs are hurting. Let's recenter you like that. Or talk about how you organize your content and videos on your computer and your time. So I'm actually starting a social media coaching course because I've learned so much being on social media for 10 years, and I've grown my following from 0 to 130,000 followers across multiple platforms. So I know multiple platforms, but I think I'm going to include a section on this because I'm still editing YouTube vlogs from London, and I still have to find content from a year ago, and I am very organized. I have hard drives, I have them organized by what camera I used, if it was a drone, Osmo, Sony, then I have it organized by month, then I have it organized by if it's just cinematic footage, or if it's a vlog, then I have all my project files of all my vlogs and all the overlays and all the music I use. So if I want to go back to an old vlog and change the editing to it, I can click into the project and then all the content's there in the right folders and everything. I did actually have a bit of this on my second Instagram account, Lynn's Blog Media. I had talking about my editing organization, but that account is still, I don't know, under investigation. I don't know if I'm getting back or not, but I'm definitely going to be including this in my coaching. So make sure you join Blog Baddies so you find out when I'm going to release that. Okay, do you miss your karaoke? What are your plans with your Brazilian boyfriend? What is your dream travel destination? Okay, so the plans with the Brazilian boyfriend is I'm gonna go back to Brazil in December, and then we're just gonna live together, see what happens. Like if it was just the honeymoon phase in the 2 weeks or anything. And yeah, that's the plan with that. We speak every day on the phone, even though we don't really speak the same language. It's like just nice to see him. It kind of brings back all the memories and the feelings of like what I felt in summer. And what is your dream travel destination? I would say like, I really want to go somewhere in the Caribbean, like somewhere really bougie, but the thing with me is like, if I want to go somewhere bougie, I think about like 8 different other places I can go for the same cost. But it would be like, I want to say Maldives, but for me like Maldives I think seems like really boring unless you're with like a partner. It's like a honeymoon place, so I just don't. Dream destination. Actually, you know what? I think it would be Japan. I love snowboarding and I love sushi. Like, love sushi. So Japan, and I like when I was living in London, so many people were going to Japan because the yen wasn't doing so good. But I was like, Japan is like a country so close to Australia. It's something I could definitely tick off when I'm living in Australia. So that's why I never went. What cameras do you use and recommend to film content? This is from fitness_motivation123. So I have so many cameras. I have GoPros, I have Osmo Actions, I have Osmo Pockets now, I have my big DSLR. I think it depends if you want content to be super quality, cinematic, or if you want to grow your social media. Because if you want to grow your social media, you need to do what's convenient and what you can upload every day with. So for example, when I film on my big camera, I then have to put it on my computer, color grade it, put sound effects, and it takes a lot longer, so the process is longer. But it does give really good quality content. So it kind of depends what you want to use the content for, and that determines what camera. Also your budget, everything. I spend all my money on travel and electronics, and I will never regret that, because I have all the places I've traveled around the world on hard drives and memories, and I've traveled a lot of places, which travel is the only thing that you can't buy that makes you richer. I love that quote, I think. Travel because money returns, time does not. That's been on my phone case since I went to Egypt. But I use a Sony a7S III here, which has a flip out screen, which I love, but this camera is super expensive. I didn't take it to Brazil because it's quite bulky. I actually took the Osmo Pocket, which the only thing I don't like about Osmo Pocket is a bit wide. So there's like some shots you want it to be like sort of close up and nice. You can't get that. But yeah. How come your family doesn't support your industry? This is from cafe_conjurity. So I think I come from a family of mainly boys and like a dad, and they're very not on social media. So I think it's also like quite a new thing for people. Hi. What's everyone doing? On vlogs doing her get ready with me. My dad just said he's found out more about my life listening to this sit down chat. Hello.
What are you coming to do some howdy, Johnny?
How's it going?
Come to do some washes.
My family has come to be in the get ready with me.
I'm going to go back with Sean.
Yeah.
Where you're going?
When he goes.
Okay. In the vlog. Say hello.
We all want to be on it, the three weird boys from down at the farm.
You gotta bend down.
Hi everyone. This is Dad here. I like his videos.
Dad.
I'm a big follower.
This is Dad vlog.
Yeah. She looks good with her makeup and she's a big talker. A lot better than me. See ya.
Dylan's vlog. Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye, Sean.
Righto.
Thanks for the chicken.
Yeah. Oh, here's another person.
Oh,
Alright, that's Lynn's.
Yeah.
influencer.
Espressos.
Really? Oh no. I don't know what this is. Okay, bye. Oh yes. Thanks for coming. This is for this brand partnership in Australia, and they're gonna pay me. Yay! Oops, I probably shouldn't have thrown that. This has been a really long video, but it's been like, I've literally cried like 3 times today. I just feel like it's really hard settling into Australia. I feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm living like a different, I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like I had loved my life in Australia when I last lived here, but now I'm like such a different person. Like I've lived in London, I've lived in Brazil, like I've traveled all of Europe. I feel like such a different person, but I've slotted back into an old life. It's so weird, I can't explain it. And then I just feel like with my family, actually this is rolling off the question with my family supporting my industry. They actually became a lot more supportive of my social media when they saw how happy it made me. And I think when I kind of just didn't back down, I was like, no, like I'm doing this. Like this is my career, like this is what I want to do. Like this pays my bills. And even when it didn't, I was like, this makes me happy. And I think for a lot of my life, I bowed down to my family and I was like, okay, like I won't post fitness stuff or I won't post bikini stuff. Obviously I've learned a lot about social media, like just posting bikini pictures and thirst trapping really only going to get you male attention, and that's not what really successful social media people do. But yeah, I think when I just decided, I was like, no, this is what I want to do, and this is the career I want to take. And when it started to, I think as well, when like all these parcels arrive, and even I was in, so we were in Santiago, we were somewhere in Chile, and I'd gone out with my two brothers for some drinks in Chile, and my brother had invited some friends, and they were like, wait, do you do social media? And I was literally sitting there with my brothers, and they were like, holy, like my sister is like famous, you know, like it was all my hard work paying off. So to answer that question, no, my family didn't support it, but they have really come around to supporting it, because I think they can see that it's really dry. I think it's just hard for them to understand, like they're boys. How are they going to understand that people follow my life online, or how are they going to understand videos? But I think they've learned to become a lot more understanding. So yeah, that's that. I also wanted to touch on, like, I'm finding it really hard at the moment to be around my family, because I'm like going in such bad head spaces. And then like my dad came over today, and I was just like, not screaming at him, but just like getting angry at the situation, because I'm like, I want to be settled and I want to be happy in Australia, but I'm not. And I know I've only been back a month, but it's just like, I think in the back of my head, I'm worried that I'm going to spend another 2 years settling myself in Australia, and then I'm going to get this itch to leave again. And I'm like, oh, all that work to settle myself back in Australia just to want to go move to America. You know, I've always wanted to live in America. So I'm just like trying to work out in my head, like, what do I want my life to be, so I don't have to go through all these settling stages. Okay, it's like the end of my period, but I'm like full blown crying. Okay. Let's finish this video. What's your advice on how to make money through Instagram and social media? My advice is actually don't do it for making money. Obviously, I always dreamt of being an influencer. I always dreamt of getting PR packages. But if that never happened, I would still be making my videos, because I love videography, photography, content creation. And I think even losing my Instagram account, you know, I almost lost that. I still showed up and I still made videos, even when I didn't have anyone viewing them or any more followers or a platform, is because I genuinely love it. And you have to do so much editing and so much work and so much content creation before you see any bit of traction, let alone before you get all this success of PR packages, brand deals, getting recognized in the street. So do it because you love it, and find a niche that you love, and just show up every day and be consistent. That's my best advice I can give you. Do not do it for the money. Yes, the money is great, but it shouldn't be your sole purpose for doing it, because you will burn out and you will not stay with it. Okay, someone said, "Oque de Rio." I don't understand, I'm sorry. And yeah, I think that's fave area to stay in Rio. I actually really liked when I stayed in Leme. It was like the other side of down at Copacabana. I stayed at a hostel in the favela. I really liked Ipanema. It had like really nice bougie areas, like Leblon area. Oh my God, I miss Rio so much. Just all of Rio, just by the beach. I don't really like Flamingo or like Botafogo, like Centro. I don't want to stay there. I love staying by the beach in Rio. Like waking up, going for a run, going to the outdoor gym. The scenery is so beautiful in Rio. Hosting group trips. I actually got asked to do one in Brazil, but I think I just really want to prioritize building my online coaching for my social media, because I want something that's generating me revenue all the time. And I feel like you put so much effort into these group trips. Yes, you make a good lump sum, but then after that, you've got to start again. And I think I want to build something that's just consistently going to, you know, bring me an income that I can then expand and make bigger. And yeah, that's the plan. That's a really long Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did my makeup and now I've started crying. My eyes look really blue. But yeah, that's the update. I feel like I am staying consistent on YouTube twice a week. I'm going to literally film this, edit and upload. My dad was like, where is this going? He's going to go watch it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I love you all. Thanks for being on this journey, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
wanna be just like you.